You look in the mirror and convince yourself that you do not stand out because men are not constantly walking up to you to say it. You have been conditioned to believe that physical attractiveness must always be loud, aggressive, and explicitly stated. The brutal reality is that men notice a highly attractive woman long before they ever formulate a single word to say to her. Attraction is rarely announced. It is quietly calculated through hesitation, observation, and intimidation. You are not invisible. You are simply completely unaware of the silent language happening around you every time you walk into a room. When a man spots a woman he finds undeniably attractive, his visual system locks in before his conscious mind can regulate the behavior. His eyes will linger on you for a fraction of a second longer than a normal, polite glance. When you catch him looking, his immediate defense mechanism kicks in, causing him to quickly stare at his phone or look at the floor. But the biological pull is too strong, and seconds later, his eyes will snap back to your position to verify if you're still there. This is not a random social accident, it is an involuntary neurological response. Men constantly study subjects of high aesthetic and genetic value without even realizing they are doing it. This initial gaze is the critical moment where raw attraction grabs his full attention, paralyzing his confidence temporarily while his brain decides what to do next. Most women dismiss these brief moments of locked eye contact as mere coincidence, completely ignoring the intense biological evaluation taking place. You must stop invalidating the power of your own image, repeated. Broken eye contact is the clearest, most unfiltered signal of physical magnetism. When you catch that lingering gaze, do not shrink back or look away in discomfort. Hold the reality that your physical presence just commanded the attention of the room without you lifting a single finger. Recognizing this visual anchor is the first step in reclaiming the undeniable power of your own aesthetic value. A highly attractive woman creates a literal gravitational pull in any social environment. A man who is intimidated by your presence will rarely walk straight up to you to initiate a cold conversation. Instead, he will slowly and strategically alter his physical coordinates to intersect with yours. Suddenly, he is standing right next to you at the bar to order a drink, or he casually joins the outer edge of the conversational circle you are already engaged in. From the outside, this slow migration looks like pure coincidence, but it is a highly calculated survival strategy. By placing himself within your physical orbit, he makes any future interaction feel organic rather than forced. He is essentially waiting for a natural opening, a dropped napkin, or a shared laugh, to bypass the terrifying risk of a direct rejection. His body is physically drawn to your space, overriding his logical hesitation to keep a safe distance. You need to start tracking the movement of the room instead of just the words being spoken. When a man consistently positions himself in your immediate vicinity without a clear logistical reason, he is silently begging for an opening. You hold the ultimate leverage in these moments. You do not have to initiate the conversation, but simply understanding that your physical presence dictates the positioning of the people around you fundamentally shifts how you perceive your own social value. True attractiveness is never solely about facial symmetry. It is deeply tied to the energetic presence you project. When you speak from a place of calm grounding, people instinctively stop what they are doing to listen. You trigger a psychological phenomenon known as the halo effect, because you possess one highly appealing trait. Whether it is physical beauty or a commanding vibe, the human brain automatically assigns a multitude of other positive attributes to your character before even knowing you. Because of this subconscious bias, people instantly assume you're highly intelligent, uniquely capable, and a natural authority figure. You will notice that when you speak, the dynamic of the group shifts. People lean in slightly, they maintain eye contact longer, and their reactions to your statements are amplified. Men in particular become hyper-attentive because their neurological wiring is desperately trying to maintain an active connection with a high-value target. You must ruthlessly leverage this psychological advantage. When you realize that the halo effect is working in your favor, you stop rushing your words and apologizing for taking up space. You speak with the deliberate cadence of someone who knows their voice carries weight. Your physical attractiveness opens the door, but your grounded presence commands the respect. Own the silence in the room when you speak, knowing they are biologically wired to listen to you. When a man is deeply drawn to you, his nervous system attempts to create a physical harmony with yours through a process called mirroring. It requires absolutely zero conscious effort on his part. If you cross your legs and lean into the table within moments, his posture will subtly shift to reflect yours. If you pick up your glass to take a sip, his hand will almost involuntarily reach for his own drink. This biological mimicry happens because his brain is desperately trying to signal alignment and safety to you. It is the body's primitive way of saying that you are entirely on the same wavelength. He does not know he is doing it, but his physical form is completely surrendered to your movements. This deep level of behavioral synchronization is a massive indicator that his focus is entirely consumed by your physical presence. Start testing this dynamic the next time you're sitting across from someone you suspect is interested. Make a distinct, deliberate change to your posture and watch how long it takes for his body to follow your lead. When you control the physical rhythm of the interaction, you hold the ultimate power in the dynamic. Recognizing this subconscious obedience completely removes the mystery of whether or not he is truly captivated by you. A man who is genuinely captivated by a highly attractive woman will quickly move past the superficial compliments. Men know that beautiful women hear about their physical looks constantly, so it loses its impact. Instead, he will begin to validate the invisible qualities that surround you. He will compliment the way you carry yourself, the specific tone of your voice, or the calming magnetic energy you bring into a chaotic room. When he shifts his focus from your body to your vibe, it means the physical attraction has already been deeply processed and accepted as a baseline fact in his mind. Now his attention is fully engaged in the unique qualities that make you irreplaceable. He is no longer just observing a beautiful object, he is studying the architecture of your personality. This shift indicates a level of deep psychological investment that goes far beyond a passing physical urge. Do not brush off these complex compliments as polite filler conversation. When a man tells you that your energy is intoxicating or that you are incredibly easy to talk to, he is revealing that you have completely bypassed his logical defenses. Accept these observations as undeniable proof of your multifaceted value. Your beauty captures their attention, but your specific energetic signature is exactly what permanently traps their focus. Attractive women naturally disrupt the visual landscape of any room they enter. You will often catch people glancing at you repeatedly throughout an evening, even from across crowded, noisy spaces. The human brain is mathematically designed to return its focus to high-value stimuli. No matter how hard a man tries to appear disinterested or focused on his friends, the biological magnetism of your presence will force his eyes to keep checking your location. This constant visual anchoring happens because attraction is entirely involuntary. He is fighting a losing battle against his own neural pathways. Every time he glances back, he is hoping you might be looking his way, searching for any small fraction of an opening. These repeated stolen glances reveal that his attention has been completely hijacked. Regardless of the cool exterior, he is desperately trying to maintain in public. You must stop letting your insecurities blind you to this reality. When you notice a man looking at you for the fourth time in an hour, do not assume there is something wrong with your outfit. You are the focal point of his visual radar. Acknowledge the power you hold over the room's attention without needing to perform for it. Your mere existence is enough to disrupt their focus, and realizing that brings an unshakable inner calm. When a woman of high value enters a social dynamic, the behavior of the men in that environment immediately fractures into two distinct survival responses. Some men will become hyper-respectful, carefully listening to your ideas and treating you with a sudden elevated reverence. Other men will instantly activate a competitive, performative state. They become louder, their gestures get larger, and they attempt to dominate the conversation to showcase their own perceived value. While these behaviors look entirely different, they are triggered by the exact same root cause, the undeniable recognition of your high status. The respectful man is trying to secure your favor through alignment, while the performative man is trying to win your attention through domination. Your presence has essentially altered the chemical makeup of the room, forcing every male ego to adjust its strategy to compensate for the high-value asset that just arrived. Observe these shifts coldly and objectively. When you see men suddenly trying harder to be funny, wealthy, or dominant the moment you walk by, recognize that you are the absolute catalyst for that behavior. You do not need to reward the performance, you just need to understand what triggered it. Knowing that your simple presence forces men to actively prove their worth shifts the dynamic entirely in your favor. You become the judge, not the contestant. One of the most frustrating side effects of being highly attractive is the automatic assumption that you are entirely unreachable. People will make offhand comments asking how your boyfriend is doing, or joke about how many men must be crowding your inbox daily. These seemingly casual remarks are actually deep psychological projections. Society universally associates top-tier attractiveness with high social demand because you look the way you do. And because you carry yourself with a specific type of calm assurance, the average man automatically calculates that you must already be taken by a high-status competitor. This assumption creates a massive invisible barrier. Men disqualify themselves before ever speaking to you because their ego cannot handle the mathematical probability of rejection. They assume the line is too long, so they do not even bother standing in it. You have to reframe your singleness from a lack of options to a terrifying standard of exclusivity. If men are assuming you're taken, it is the ultimate validation of your elite social value. Do not shrink your confidence to make yourself seem more approachable to weak men. Let them assume you have endless options, because the only men who will break through that barrier are the ones possessing the supreme confidence required to actually stand beside you. You mistake a lack of direct approaches for a lack of genuine interest, completely ignoring the sheer terror that true beauty strikes into the average male ego. Walking up to a highly attractive woman is one of the most psychologically punishing risks a man can take. If he fails, he does not just face rejection, he faces a complete collapse of his self-perceived status. Your aesthetic value is so high that it literally triggers his fight-or-flight response. This intimidation barrier explains why you often go completely unbothered in environments where you expect the most attention. Men are doing rapid risk assessments in their heads. They look at your posture, your grooming, and your calm demeanor, and their internal alarm system tells them they do not have the required social currency to afford you. They are not ignoring you. They are actively retreating to protect their fragile sense of self-worth from your inevitable standard. Stop internalizing their cowardice as your flaw. If your presence is strong enough to silence a room and keep average men at a safe distance, you are wielding a massive psychological weapon. Intimidation is simply a filtration system that automatically removes low-effort individuals from your orbit. Embrace the space it creates. You're not responsible for lowering your energetic frequency just to make insecure men feel brave enough to speak to you. The moment you finally decode this silent language, everything about how you operate in the world fundamentally changes. You stop walking into social gatherings hoping to be chosen, and you start walking in knowing you are the absolute prize. Attraction is not a loud, dramatic movie scene. It is the quiet, undeniable shift in atmospheric pressure when you enter the room. When you internalize this reality, your posture straightens and your eyes stop darting around for validation. This sudden spike in genuine self-awareness acts as an amplifier. When a woman knows exactly how much power she holds, the halo effect we discussed earlier doubles in intensity. People are naturally drawn to individuals who do not require external permission to exist confidently. Your absolute lack of desperation makes you dangerously magnetic. You stop reacting to the room, and the room starts anxiously reacting to you. You must weaponize this knowledge immediately. The next time you feel invisible, observe the lingering eyes, the subtle body mirroring, and the nervous energy of the men nearby. Let that cold, calculated observation replace your self-doubt. You do not need them to say a single word. Your value is completely independent of their courage to approach. Own your space with absolute certainty and watch the entire world reorganize itself to accommodate your presence. You have been doubting your worth based on a completely flawed metric. You expected a loud parade when reality operates in silent, undeniable signals. The lingering glances, the altered body language, and the sheer intimidation you provoke are the absolute proof of your high value. Stop waiting for weak men to validate what your mirror already knows. Your presence commands the room whether they have the spine to admit it or not. If this shattered the illusion holding back your confidence, subscribe to the channel.